Once you have printed out all the parts for your Respect My Personal Space game, you want to be able to put things together. So we start with the space base, and as you can see, every space has a number on it, and number 1 is down here at the bottom. And when we take the landing zone, which is the white part here, and we put it on, we want to make sure that the number 1 lines up with the number 1 on the space base. So we peel the backing off of the landing zone here, just that easy. So it just pulls apart, and clean up the edges a little bit here. If you have a little knife or a lighter, you can clean it up if you like, but I just put it together as is. This simply snaps in on the top of the board, just like that. Nice solid connection and connected in. So then we take the red outer zone, and the red number 1 lines up with the neutral zone 1 and the landing zone 1. So we snap the red section into place, just like that. Then we go with green, going clockwise, and we snap that into place. Then we go with blue and snap that into place, and then finally yellow. There we go. So that completes the playboard for the Respect My Personal Space game. That's how you assemble it once you've 3D printed out each of the various parts. Then of course we go with the spire to balance it, the astronauts for play, the specialty markers, and the die. So now we've got to put on our teleporters, so we're going to break them loose from this support material and just place them all on the board like this. I'm just putting my thumbnail underneath the edge and pushing, and it just pops right off. So we end up with a piece of support trash. So again, with these, just right under the edge, and they come right off, just like that. And then each of these teleporters are plugged into the holes around the outer edges of the outer zones. So each of the outer zones has 2 holes, and these just pop in like this. Now that one's got a little extra plastic. There we go. And they just pop in. The rest of these just pop in. Those 2 are strung together. And that takes care of the transporters. And we've got our board finished. Just like that. The spinner has a printout that gets pasted to the face of it. And once you've got the face pasted on, that's what it looks like. And then we just plug in the little arrow and it spins. So that's the full game. Respect my personal space. Then to play the game, we start by covering all the specialty pieces and then shuffling them up so nobody knows which one is which. Then we take the spinner and spin it, and using the spinner we take turns, one each player, there's only 2 players, and we place each of the 10 specialty markers where the spinner tells us to put them. This makes each game unique because it's very unlikely, unless you force it to, that you will place all 10 markers within the 60 available spaces on the spinner. Now the spinner does not include the landing zone. It does include the neutral zone. So after all of the pieces are placed, then game can truly begin. And you can place all these pieces without the board being on the spire if you like, and then remove